What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon coming at you today with a very short video, but a bit of update news because I know so many people have been asking about Rugby 24. Woke up this morning to the news that we've all been expecting a little bit from the guys over at Rugby 24, that the game has now been officially delayed. There's some stuff to go through and a few questions still to ask. I've already seen this floating around on the the FAQ page. Everyone's getting super involved with this one at the minute. I'm sure you'll probably see a bunch of videos from some of the other guys as well talking about this, but we do have a post officially from Rugby 24. If you're part of the FAQ page, you might know that we already sort of knew this was coming. There's a couple of fantastic people involved with that page getting in there saying they've been talking to nacon at the event. They didn't turn up with anything for Rugby 24. They had nothing to show. We were all sort of waiting for that official line of news, but it all sounded pretty legit that it looked like nothing was going to be coming. But we'll have a bit of a read through what Rugby 24 have put out officially. Apologies for my voice. We were doing a live stream last night, so my voice is still a little bit hoarse after doing the 3-hour live stream going over the World Cup predictions. So you can go check that one out on the channel if you want to after this one. Rugby 24 have to say, dear rugby fans, ever since we began developing the game Rugby 24, our goal has been to create the best simulation and most complete game possible. The team has been working hard to adjust the gameplay, represent the sport as accurate as possible, and integrate all officially licensed teams, which include over 130 countries and 15 leagues. A bit of extra information there. I don't think we knew about the 15 different leagues. With this massive expansion in content, the development of the game has taken more time than we originally planned. We have also had difficulty gaining access to some of the top teams' players to capture the 3D photos prior to the Rugby World Cup. As we want to bring the most authentic and complete rugby game to date, we've taken the difficult decision to push back the release date for Rugby 24 to the 30th of January 2024 on the eve of the Six Nations tournament. This extra time will also aid development and allow us to further enhance gameplay. While it is truly heartbreaking to miss the Rugby World Cup, we are convinced that it is the right decision, one that will enable you to experience your passion in a great game. Thank you for your understanding, patience and support. See you soon with more information about Rugby 24, the Rugby 24 team. So there we have it. That is the delay we were all sort of expecting. I'm glad they've given a new date. That was one of the things I was really worried about. If you've been around in the FAQ circles and on YouTube for a bit and Twitter, you will have seen all of us talking about when would they actually release this game. It looked like it was going to get delayed. You can't release it mid-tournament because I feel like no one would play it. It would have to be post-tournament. Maybe get it out in time for Christmas. They've gone for the 30th of January, which is more in line with what Rugby 20 and Rugby 22 had. I wouldn't be surprised if that was originally their development cycle was going to be release it in January, and maybe after the fact they managed to get the World Cup license and then they tried to really cut down that deadline, but simply didn't make it. So the 30th of January is what we now look forward to, just before the Six Nations, which is fine. To be honest, I'm not that bothered about this. I feel like a lot of people will be really upset to be missing this game in time for the World Cup, but from my own point of view, I would rather they take their time and release this game in the best possible condition. I think one of the worst things they could do with this game is to rush the release and release it completely broken and unworking, and people just attach this to the pile of bad rugby games that we've had in the past, and the game gets abandoned and the whole franchise goes down the pan. I'm happy for them to have put out this press release now and say we're officially delaying it by a good couple months now. I mean, it's probably, what, 4 or 5 months they're delaying this by now, which is fine. That's a good chunk of time. We were originally skeptical when we hadn't heard anything after like 6 months after announcement. They basically doubled their amount of time to get this done, which is absolutely fine. Taking a look at some comments from you guys, it seems like everyone's in agreement as well. I don't know what sort of backlash that they were worried about giving this information out, but just having a bit of a scroll through from people's things, everyone is sort of saying disappointing that we won't be getting it, but you know what, we're all happy to be patient and wait for the game. Maybe they were really expecting everyone to kick off and be really angry about this. Maybe there's bigger things behind the scenes with nacon absolutely driving this team to get this out by the Rugby World Cup to meet those deadlines, and they just couldn't do it. I don't really mind that much if they delay it, as long as we get a better game at the end of it. You might remember other games that have come out in the past, things like Cyberpunk. They delayed Cyberpunk forever and it still got released terrible. So I feel like if you make the claim now, we're delaying this, we want this game to be brilliant, from that, you're probably going to need the game to be absolutely solid and in a great state. But let me know what you guys think of this down in the comment section. I look forward to hear from all of you about this this game. Of course, we'll be covering this now going all the way through to January. So, hey, we get some more news going on. I'm hoping we find something out about this post-World Cup. I imagine if they're struggling to get the like the photography for the players and stuff after the World Cup would be one of the best times to start doing that, when, you know, there's not quite as many intense, you know, international games going on. Maybe in November they'll gain some access to the, you know, the real top tier teams to get some of that photography done. And then maybe just before Christmas or something, we'll hear something. Maybe there's even the opportunity for a beta as we get towards the end of the year. Maybe that's me being a little bit too hopeful. But there we are, guys. We will be covering it as we get more news going all the way through to January, though. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel to keep up to date with all the latest information. I'll see you all next time, guys. Bye-bye.